For the streaming companies specifically, how important are these awards?
The awards are important because they provide legitimacy for the programming, and it highlights their new programs in a way that they couldn't accomplish through advertisements and other forms of promotion. Our research at Activate, though, shows that now people are coming for the library. They're coming, and it's why there's been a lot of changes in licensing. So NBC has taken back The Office. Friends is going to be held by HBO Max, which is part of Warner Media, AT&T. And Seinfeld is now going to Netflix because what they're trying to do is they know that those library shows are bringing in a lot of the viewers. People are staying for the originals, and they'd like to flip that given the amount of money they're spending on producing these originals.
I want to get more into the library piece of this in just a minute, but Simon, first, I mean, you used to work at Netflix and Hulu. When you see companies like Amazon and Netflix winning so many Emmys last night, does it actually justify the billions that these companies are spending? And I guess if so, how do you quantify that?
Look, Reed Hastings, Ted Sarandos, Scott Stuber, they know exactly what they're doing. They're managing their budgets. They know how much they need to spend. And I think we see evidence last night from the Netflix success. They're doing the right things. They're right up there with HBO. They're well ahead of the traditional broadcast networks. So, yes, I think they are justifying their spend.
Which is more important, Simon, when it comes to the Emmys? The buzz that the streamers get from the win, kind of with potential viewers, or the kind of clout within Hollywood that might help them win in the next bidding war versus a rival network?
Look, it definitely all helps, but I think what you're starting to see is Netflix is still trying to be creative about how they can draw the best producers into the Netflix ecosystem. We've seen some unconfirmed discussions that Ted and Scott are exploring how can they pay bonuses. So moving away from their traditional flat license fee to something that might be based more on views or awards that the shows or films might receive. So I think they're still being creative, and I still think there's a willingness to lean forward to make sure they're getting all the best talent into Netflix.
Michael, is there any reason to think, there's been a lot made today on the heels of the Emmys, that this idea that for HBO this was the last big hurrah for the network, as all of these other companies, these competitors now continue to ascend, especially with Game of Thrones going away and some of their other very popular TV series. Do you think that's the case?
No, I don't. And I think that part of the reason is because today we still have HBO is really penetrated across the 90 million homes that have cable television. It's a recognized brand, and HBO is the one place that people are going for the originals. The originals are very important. It's not just Game of Thrones. It's all of the new things that they keep throwing out there. And so I think that people keep looking at these services and think that consumers are going to switch from one or the other. Our research shows that actually people are stacking these services, that they're going to subscribe to multiple services because they're going to get not just the originals, but they're going to get all this breadth of other programming.
So, Michael,
40%, Amazon's up 18%. Netflix has gone negative for the year, hasn't done that all year long. And I wonder if you think investors are right to start to worry about just how much this is going to cost them when you're going up against purses like Apple's.
I understand the concern. I think that it's short term. You look at a leading investment firm like Third Point, Dan Loeb, increased their position in the second quarter. I think there's an awareness that, yes, the heat has come off the Netflix share price, but I still think you're going to see that PE ratio start to come down over the next 6, 12 months into 2021, when it'll start to look like a more, I'm not going to say it's a value stock, but it's certainly not going to be the 100-plus PE multiple that we see today.
Michael, I mean, we can talk about all of the original content that everybody is developing right now, but when you see the prices for Big Bang Theory, Seinfeld, The Office, just to name a couple, I mean, are we in a classic TV arms race?
We are. Whenever there is a competition and an arms race between distributors, the content producers really win. And the companies that have a lot of content are going to make a big difference. It's why Kevin Mayer at Disney made the huge acquisition of the Fox, of all the Fox channels in the studio. It's being able to load up and have many weapons in the arsenal. At the same time, though, these companies are going to continue to produce, and there's going to be a lot of competition for producers, people out there who can write, who can produce, actors. It's going to be a world where people are going to buy multiple services, and each of these companies is going to try to outspend itself.